Hi. I have a television set that I bought about 9 months ago, and when I bought it, like any other person who was interested in that product, I looked up reviews for it online, and there wasn't that many unbiased reviews of it. In fact, there were none, except a couple on Reddit. So now that I have lived with it for almost 10 months now, I feel like I'm qualified to tell you all the pros and cons about it in an unbiased manner. So that's what we are going to do today in this. This will all be in one take. So just ignore the visuals. Let's just focus on the good, the bad, and the ugly about this TV. So here is how I have set up my TV in my small rented apartment. I will turn it on in just a minute, but first I want you to see just how big it is. It is a 55 inch. It is the Hisense U6G 55-inch TV. I have mounted it on its legs, provided legs here, on a small table. Sorry about the light from the background, but I wanted to give you a fair picture of both daytime and nighttime, a typical viewing experience. Because what I do is I have these blackout curtains. These blackout curtains, complete darkness it provides when you pull it in. So I have these blackout curtains that I use in the daytime when I am viewing something, and uh, this is my bed. I don't put it in the living room or anything. I enjoy watching my TV from the bed. Please skip ahead if all this setup thing is boring you, but I just wanted to give you a fair picture. So I lie in the bed and then I watch. So this is the table. The table is almost 62 inches, I think. My landlord provided it to me. Uh, so yeah, so this is a 55-inch TV, and I open the blackout curtains once it is night time, once it is the evening, so that yeah, you know, I can have a bit of a natural backlight. Yeah. So why the Hisense U6Z instead of all the other options that are there from LG, Samsung? Prices of TVs have come down. So why this? Well, mm, I got it for around 47,000 something with some discounts, bank discounts, and all that. Well, I bought it because it was the cheapest QLED display that I could find that had good reviews. So the first most important, most attractive aspect of it, of course, is the local dimming, full array local dimming. So this thing has got full array local dimming. You can adjust it. I will show it to you in just a second. But what it does is blacks are completely black. Uh, Contrast is very good. There is no bloom. So that is that. So it is 60 hertz. Unfortunately, yes. Now you can get the U7G, which is 120 hertz and comes with NVIDIA G-Sync or AMD FreeSync, if I'm not wrong. One of those. 120 hertz. I wish I would have waited a bit more and bought that. But that thing was not on sale in India at that time, and it was on sale in the Americas, and I really, really, absolutely wanted it. But it was not on sale at all. I had no idea that it would be coming so soon. But that's the nature of technology, right? It You can't wait. If you are waiting for the iPhone 15, then you will never buy the iPhone 14, and if you are waiting for the 14, you will never buy the 13. So yeah. Anyway, so why QLED? Why not OLED, which is like the pinnacle of display technologies right now? OLED is everything. If you can afford an OLED, just close your eyes, go for OLED. Nothing else in the world compares to OLED when it comes to TV displays. The blacks, the contrast, the richness, nothing else compares to OLED. So I couldn't buy OLED because for the simple reason that I couldn't afford it. I didn't want to pay so much for OLED because my use case Because I went to the theater, I went to showrooms and I looked for OLED, and it was the difference between OLED and QLED. Even to a pixel people like me who is absolutely anal about quality and contrast and brightness and pixels. The Even to someone like me, the difference was not that uh, evident, which is why I didn't go for the OLED, and this was the best option available at that time. So now let's come back to this TV at hand, my experience with it. So I consume almost the vast majority of my content from my gaming computer, from my gaming PC, which is right there. I will turn it on in just a second. Then for Sony exclusives, I have the PS5 only for exclusives. The rest, I am a PC guy, uh, and for audio, I have this connected to a Jevronix 5.1 Dolby Atmos sound system. I will have a review of it up if anybody is interested. So there is the subwoofer here for the Jevronix. There is my PC. Here is the PS5, and there is the whole mass of cables that power everything. Sometimes when I am working on large files, then sometimes I screencast from my MacBook that I use for work, and there are my controllers. Here is the fiber router for my 100 Mbps connection, and here is the Wi-Fi router. Okay, so let's look at connectivity options. So these the first one is the HDMI ARC port, just ARC, not EARC, which will give you the whole Atmos uncompressed and everything. So at least it has got ARC, and that's how I have connected it to my soundbar. So the other two, one is connected to my PC, one is connected to my PS5. I won't bore you with the other connectivity options and all, because those are things you can look from the brochure. So this is the remote that I got. Clicky buttons, it is fine, but there is a lot of unnecessary stuff and it will take some time to get used to. So as you can see, it is in standby mode right now. That light is glowing, and if I press the remote, it is on. It is on. So okay, while it turns on and everything, let me give you my honest experience. Likes and dislikes. It takes a lot of time to turn on. If it is from standby, no, it is almost instantaneous. That's fine. But if the power went out, or if you turned it off from the mains, then it takes a lot of time to turn on. Yeah, the menu system, it runs on Android OS. The menu system, my most annoying thing, which is absolutely a niche use case that you might not have any problems with, is that when I turn it on, every single bloody time it turns on to the home screen. I want to be taken to the input that I use last, which in this case would be in HDMI 2, which is my PC. But it won't do that. Whether my PC is on or off, it will always take me to the home screen, and I'm sick and tired of uh, changing inputs, because it is not a one button press. You need to be pressing two buttons. Now that might sound like a first world problem, that might sound like nitpicking, but no, in the long run these things add up, these things take time. So that is my biggest complaint. Now inbuilt speakers, they are fine, but no, if you are buying a TV like this, then you should probably invest in a slightly better audio system. They cost like 4-5 thousand. You should at least invest in a subwoofer or a soundbar. because there is no bass. It is everything is flat. It sounds like you are listening to music from a mobile phone, just with the volume turned up. That is the type of quality you will get from the inbuilt soundbar. So this is my primary mode of content consumption, uh, and other than the small niggles from the OS, I absolutely love it. So why did I buy it over Samsung and LG and all? Well, because of picture quality. So let me show you. There is the local dimming. I have turned it to high, the backlight level to 100, and let's go back. Picture mode is HDR standard, because my PC, the Windows 11, I have turned HDR on. Contrast, I have kept it at 70. For a very long time, I used to keep the contrast 100, but recently I thought that no, maybe we should not max it out. Brightness 42. We will come to brightness in a bit, because that is a very important aspect. Color 55. You can keep it at 50 also. Advanced settings, yes. Color temperature. I don't want any digital enhancements, anything at all. So I'm trying to keep. I turned everything off. Motion, noise reduction, and this is the most egregious one. Please listen to what Tom Cruise has to say, and turn off motion enhancement. Turn off this weird looking thing. The first thing that you should do is turn motion blur off, whether you are in gaming or whether you are in anything except probably live sports. The sound, it has got ARC, as you can see, and I am using my HDMI. So one thing about the sound is that it can't process Atmos, but it can act as a pass-through. Now, Dolby Atmos uncompressed needs an EARC port, which this one doesn't have. So this one has ARC port, not EARC. So all it can do is pass through audio. And my soundbar, which I deliberated for a long time and which I bought for its Dolby Atmos, needs an EARC port. But still, ARC works. It is perfectly fine with playing Atmos content, either from my computer um, or my gaming console, my PS5. But I am assuming that that won't be the use case for content consumers. For most of them will be playing Netflix, Amazon Prime, Geo, Hotstar, and all that from the inbuilt apps. So let me just show you that. It takes some time. It has a bit of a lag. It takes some time. But all the good apps are there. The one that I didn't like is Geo Cinema. I signed up for it because it was very cheap and because it had HBO content, the best content, and all that. But I didn't. It had a big fat watermark on the top right, so I stopped using that. So this is on a 100 Mbps connection, direct on the TV from my So you can see Dolby Atmos. Oh, it says surround. Okay, so maybe this video is not in Atmos. So this is the Grand Tour playing at. It is still not 4K now. Yes, now it is 4K. So content and all from the inbuilt apps, you have got all the inbuilt apps. It is fine. It is everything is fine. It can play Atmos. It can play HDR. Oh yeah, it has got 10-bit HDR and 10-bit HDR plus. Let me show you the cartoon also while we are at it. It has got Dolby Vision also and Dolby Atmos also. So here is the U6Z. So yeah, back to the TV. Yes, I think we should go back to playing copyright-free content just to be on the safe side. I don't want to be rambling, but that is what happens when you do movies, when you make videos in one take. But yeah, connectivity options, you can't complain. HDR, you are getting the fact that we are getting even ARC at this price range is a godsend. And another thing, yeah, you can see the dust. That is because in the night time and when I am sleeping, I keep my window open. So I didn't remove this dust deliberately, so that I wanted you to see what a normal use case looks like. These are the wall mounting brackets that I have just kept on them, because when it came, initially I had it mounted here. These are the wall mount brackets that came with the TV, and they are extremely solid. They feels like, I mean, you can hang an elephant from here if you want. Just for contrast, these are the wall mounts of my previous TV, a 43-inch LG, and this one being a much heavier TV, 55-inch, much bigger, much heavier TV. They have given me the hardware to do it justice. I initially mounted it here, but it was above eye level. So yeah, picture quality extremely good. But let me tell you a story while you look at this blank screen of a TV. Let me tell you a story. When this came out, that was around the time that House of the Dragon on HBO was airing, and obviously you know where we Indians get our HBO content from. I was not subscribed to Geo Hotstar or whatever at the time. So you might remember that in episode 6 or something of season 1, there was a episode that was ridiculed, criticized very much for its darkness, and it gave people PTSD. It made people remember those penultimate episode of Game of Thrones, which was also by the same director, Miguel Sapochnik. It was extremely dark, and I was watching it at 8 a.m. That morning with these blackout curtains, and I was struggling to see anything on this TV. I was struggling to see anything. The protagonist, the actors walking in the camera, I couldn't see. And at that time, I hadn't sold off my previous TV, my 43-inch LG, which is a LED display, normal IPS LED display. And that this TV was here, that TV was here, okay, and the LG could display everything clearly, but this one couldn't. So I was like, okay, have I made a mistake? Is it good brand, what the difference is between good brands and bad brands? But what I realized was that I was the idiot, because I bought this TV because people say that if you are going to buy a HDR TV, go for high brightness, because otherwise you are not getting anything at all. You are not getting the best of both worlds or anything, because HDR needs a TV that is capable of being very bright. And I bought that bright TV. And my idiot ass, my dumb ass, when the brightness on this thing was at the default 50, which was too bright. So basically, I was not able to watch the House of the Dragon because this thing was too good for its own good. The display was too good. The brightness was turned all the way up, and not for 1 second did I think that that could have been the cause of all my problems. I should turn it down. So I actually returned the TV. I actually returned the first unit. Before the other TV came along, I realized that okay, maybe this might have been a mistake. So yeah, just want to warn you: turn the brightness down. Somewhere between 39 to 44 is my comfort zone for this TV, even in daytime, because it gets extremely bright. This thing is too bright for its own good. It's amazing, especially when you are playing games, when you are playing something like God of War Ragnarok or Elden Ring or any of these modern first person shooters. This thing can get bright. So that's about it. What else would you like to know? What else did I miss? Oh yeah, I don't know if it is a problem uh, with my Dolby Atmos Zebronic system or with my TV. But whenever I turn the audio on or off, uh, this thing, this audio system has got a tendency to turn off on its own. So if I turn it off, the TV also goes blank for several seconds, and now it is playing audio through the TV speakers. And again, if I turn it on, it will lag. It will lag for a long time, and wait for it. Yeah, the TV again goes blank for a long time. This is extremely annoying. This is extremely annoying. Again, might seem like a nitpick, but it adds up. It adds up a lot in the meantime, in the long run. So yeah, it is a massive TV. If you look at a 55-inch TV at a store, at a showroom, it might not seem like much. It might not seem that big even in the presence of other TVs. But trust me, once you bring it home, you will be more than satisfied with the size. Especially at my bed, watching it straight from the bed, uh, it feels like your own mini personal theater. Here's my audio system just for reference. It feels like you have your own mini theater at home. When I was at the showroom, I felt like maybe I should spend some more and I should get a 65-inch. Oh, that would have been a mistake because I stay in a small room in a rented apartment, and yeah, a 65 would have been too much. It would have been just too overwhelming for the distance that I was watching content at. It would have been overwhelming for first person gaming, first person shooting games. So yeah, I'm extremely happy with this. Other than the the connectivity problems with the soundbar. One thing that you might want to ask is how good is it actually as a PC? Well, let me show you some text. You can also see the clarity. This is what text looks like. Here is a picture of Margot Robbie just for the thumbnail or something. So, to sum up, ownership experience. I am very happy with this. I mean, especially for the price, I couldn't have gotten anything better. The brightness, the clarity. I don't feel like I actually need an OLED for now. Maybe when I have disposable income, but even then, I don't think I can see the difference between this and OLED because my watching conditions are pretty much perfect. I make it perfect. The blackout curtains, nighttime watching, it's pretty much perfect. So in those conditions, I don't think I need OLED. OLED hasn't convinced me yet, even though it is, yes, it is undoubtedly the holy grail for displays. But this works perfectly fine for me now. The size works fine. The OS is a bit laggy. Starting up after a power cut or something takes a lot of time. But other than that, yeah, even the remote, everything is fine. So those are my thoughts on the Hisense U6Z TV. Because it was in one take, because I feel like I missed a lot of things. So please ask me either on Twitter or even here in the comments if you have any queries, and I promise I will get back to you in less than 24 hours. That's about it. Thanks for watching.